Hey everyone, I'm Elphiles, and welcome back to PPL NX Playoffs. Last time, my Newport Noctiles were able to defeat Emerald Miner and his Demolition Force in round 1, and this time, we're in quarters against Freedo and his Welchions. And he has Iron Valiant, which makes this the third Valiant team I'm playing against in this round of PPL. Other than that though, this coach also has Meowscarada, which is another big offensive threat, and Walking Wake to really drive home that offense, supported by the bulky core of Landorus-T, Metagross, Blastoise, and Muck for the mirror matchup, among others. It's a scary team, but there are weak points in it. I'm seeing Valiant, Meowscarada, and Walking Wake, and they all look really good in the matchup, so Comfey looks amazing here. In fact, Comfey looks so good that I'm completely expecting a Super Spadef Muck to try and counter it, so I do have to watch out for that. But of course, that's not going to stop me from bringing the Comfey. This is pretty much a max HP, max special attack set with Life Orb to try and sweep. The goal is to boost with Calm Mind against anything I threaten out, like the Valiant, Meowscarada, or Walking Wake, and then kind of go to town. Priority Draining Kiss is obviously the stab, and Giga Drain is mostly covered to hit Blastoise super effectively. It's especially nice to revenge a Shell Smash Blastoise, which doesn't look too good in this matchup, but it's nice to have precautions against it. Then for all the fairy resists, those being Metagross, Chandelure, and Muck, I have Terra Ground, Terra Blast to take care of them. The speed is to outrun Adamant Metagross so we can take it out with a fast Terra Blast. This should be a very strong attacker and cleaner in this matchup. Next up, another Pokemon that looks very strong in this matchup, Ogerpon-H, which has been proving more and more that it's the MVP of this season. This set is pretty similar to last week's set. It's a bulky Swords Dance again, with a Horn Leech for that sustainability, and a Knockoff to deal with Chandelure, the one resist to my dual stabs. The EVs are pretty specific this time. We have a bunch of defense, which is meant to avoid the one-hit KO from a Jolly Banded Meowscarada Triple Axle. This ensures that if I'm at full health, I should be winning the 1v1 against Meowscarada, and I can also live just about any one hit from Valiant if I'm at full, and do a bunch of damage in return. The speed is then for Walking Wake, and the rest is dumped into attack for as much power as we can get. So next up, we have Deoxys, which is generally a nice mixed attacker for this matchup, and a solid lead just because of its ability to make a lot of early progress. Psychic is the stab move that scares out Valiant and hits Walking Wake pretty hard. Ice Beam, of course, hits Landorus, and Superpower is specifically from Meowscarada. Stealth Rock is also something I'd like to set up early to start chipping things down, and the Focus Sash gives me the freedom to do that, or just go for multiple attacks right off the bat. We have speed to outrun Scarf Landorus-T, max special attack, and enough HP to survive a triple axle from Adamant Scarf Meowscarada, since that would usually owe it one hit KO through Sash. And the rest of the EVs are of course in attack. Next, I need to switch into some of the bulkier low tiers on my opponent's team. I'm not sure if things like Bellibolt or Muck will show up, but if they do, I can't let them make too much progress. So that's why we have Hisui and Goodra, which makes a great switch into those, as well as Chandelure, and sometimes Meowscarada and Walking Wake, depending on the situation. This is a specially defensive set with dual stabs, and to provide some more value outside of just switching into things, we can set up with Acid Armor to become unbreakable on the physical side and gain a very powerful body press. This actually sets up pretty easily against things like Bellibolt and Muck. They don't touch me very well, especially after I get one Acid Armor going. And then with that single boost, Goodra just wins most matchups 1v1. It stomachs pretty much any hit and threatens a lot of KOs in return. So definitely an important glue piece and potential progress maker in this match. Next, I needed a way to switch in and defensively handle Meowscarada, so we are naturally going with Volbeat. Yeah, you might think Mandibuzz for Meowscarada, but Triple Axle is so spammable into my team that Mandibuzz becomes a pretty shaky answer. Volbeat, on the other hand, can actually switch into Meowscarada pretty safely. With full defense investment, we actually tank its strongest attacks pretty well, and heal off the damage with Priority Moonlight. Because of Volbeat's deceptive physical bulk, it actually makes for a decent switch into Physical Valiant and Landorus as well. U-turn allows us to pivot out to something that threatens these guys back, but Prankster Thunderwave ensures that Volbeat is a big threat to Iron Valiant and any other fast offense while we're at it. In the last slot, I'm running Ice Punch, which is really just for Landorus. It is my opponent's main Thunderwave immunity, so I can see it trying to switch in, and Ice Punch actually does threaten a decent amount of damage onto it, but the main goal is actually just to pop a Yachi Berry that it might be carrying as a counter to Tusk. We are Rocky Helmet on this, pretty much just for that Meowscarada, and Terra Steel. Almost completely sure I won't be using that, but it is just a good defensive typing to pick up a few extra resistances in the right situation. And finally, we are once again going with a booster speed Great Tusk. Not too much to say about this set at this point. I love the set so much. Getting onto the field at +1 speed is so valuable for Great Tusk, since it can just bulk up once and potentially just win a game from there. Earthquake and Ice Spinner achieve pretty great coverage together. Yeah, I feel a little boring bringing the same set every time, but you really can't go wrong here. We just need to keep an eye out for fast Scarfers like Landorus and Meowscarada, who can both run special coverage for Tusk, but if I can scout for or take care of those, it's another potential Tusk week. That is going to do it for the team though. Feels like a pretty offensive approach this time, with lots of big attackers and just a few defensive pieces that are also specifically here to force progress for my offense. But let's see how that goes in the battle. I will see you there. Alright, there's Freedo for the quarterfinals. We already exchanged Terra types, so let's see. We have... oh, okay, interesting team. Metagross, Landorus-T, Meowscarada, Iron Valiant, and these last two are surprises. We have Bellibolt and Chandelure, and the Bellibolt is water, Chandelure's fairy. Okay, so no Walking Wake is a plus. I didn't put in the best of prep for that, so that's good to see it not here. And no Muck is so surprising to me. Because Compe does look really good in this matchup now. Especially being ground for a potential Bellibolt and Chandelure and Metagross, so that's nice. Chandelure, probably have to deal with that with Goodra. I'm locking in Deoxys as my lead. Let's see, any other insights from that team? No Blastoise, kind of expected. Yeah, honestly, I'm most surprised about the no Muck. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. Yeah, the big threats are still there. Meowscarada, Valiant, Landorus-T. Alright, and good luck, have fun to Freedo. Let's have a good match. Alright, so I'm kind of expecting a Meowscarada lead, that makes a lot of sense. It's a Landorus lead, okay. So Landorus, I could just click Ice Beam. Intimidate, yeah, makes sense. I could click Rocks because my opponent should be decently afraid of the Ice Beam. Worst case for Ice Beam is probably Metagross switching in. Which, like, we do nothing to that thing. So I could just get up my Rocks. I think Rocks could be pretty good here. It's a great chip onto everything, and we need to get everything into Compe range, so... I will hate it if I miss an Ice Beam opportunity, but I'm gonna go for Rocks. Okay, cool. Bellibolt? Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense as a switch in. Alright, and there's no threat of Bellibolt setting anything up as far as hazards, so I can switch Deoxys out and keep the Sash intact. Tempted to go Goodra. Of course, it could just be a Volt switch. So if they Voltage out of Goodra and go probably Valiant, I might have to just go into my Volbeat early. But that is the play I'm going to make here. Almost wish I had Teleport on that Deoxys so I could get a slow pivot out. Not sure what this thing wants to do. Poke! Oh! That is interesting. Okay, that's tough for me. Soak Bellibolt. Wow, yeah, that makes this kind of tough. I could switch in Ogerpon. I don't want to switch in Tusk yet, obviously. How much is a Bellibolt even doing to Goodra? If I'm soaked. Bellibolt. It seems like a physically defensive set. If I am now, let's just put it in the water in Terra slot, I guess. That's so wild. Discharge does a good chunk, so I might go Ogerpon, I guess. I don't know. You know what? I'll Acid Armor and start going for this. See what it does. See how much damage this electric move does. I don't super mind the water typing, for being honest. 364 to 272. 92 points of damage. Okay, Volt Switch. Yeah, that's uninvested. Now, they can't necessarily go Meowscarada because I could have Sap Sipper. Honestly, they might have given me a pretty good typing. They would be really afraid to go Meowscarada or Energy Ball Chandelure right now. Specifically because of this water typing plus Sap Sipper. That's actually, like, I don't actually have Sap Sipper. It's Shell Armor because I wanted to avoid any crits. And I expected to keep a Quad Resist to Grass in this matchup, but apparently not. But yeah, I'm threatening Sap Sipper, which means I'm threatening those guys. Valiant can no longer just CC for free. This is a decent situation. It is the Chandelure that's going to come in. Okay. Chandelure, it does take rocks, and it's Balloon. Okay. We reveal our leftovers. So against Chandelure, I will go ahead and just Dragon Pulse. It is, I believe it was Terra Fairy on the Chandelure. Yeah, it was. So it could obviously Terra out of its neutrality here, be immune to the Dragon Pulse, but it is my best option right now. Yeah, I suppose. Because of Terra's. Oh, it's going to Will-O-Wisp. Okay, that will neutralize the Body Press for sure. Looks like Balloon might have been tech for Tusk, though, so this is a good way to pop that early. Yeah. Yeah, that makes Body Press a lot worse. But honestly, what's breaking through me right now? Right? I'm so tempted to Flash Cannon. Or I could Acid Armor again. Maybe. I think I smell a switch coming. Because I doubt the Chandelure can do too much to me. It could just Shadow Ball, which does, you know, a good chunk. So I could just go for Dragon Pulse. I don't know. Let's go for it. Goes for Haze. Okay, so, gotcha. Oh, so it's like a very defensive kind of Chandelure. That's interesting. I am still a a Water-type Goodra right now, so I'm pretty happy sticking around here. This Dragon Pulse has been doing not that much. There's a shot here that Flash Cannon could kill, even if it's not gonna Terra or anything. It could always pull that trigger. I'm just gonna Acid Armor. Goes for the Shadow Ball. Does, you know, a chunk to me. I didn't really count that, but I am just assuming this is kind of a standard Chandelure. And here it can definitely go for a Haze if it wants. They seem intent on not going for Terra here, so I'm just going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Okay, they do go for his, so the Acid Armor didn't really have any effect. But we were going to grab this KO on the Chandelure, which is very nice. Okay, and then from here, could go Bellibolt, I suppose. I'm not sure how useful Goodra is moving forward. Burn means we can't exactly keep up damage with Body Press. That's the Valiant, interesting. So if I look at Iron Valiant, no booster or anything like that, I'm gonna assume it's like Life Orb or something. Close combat, there's a small chance I live that. And that's like Life Orb uninvested close combat. I'm assuming like a mixed set. I mean, there's a shot that I live it. So I could just go for the Flash Cannon and see if I make that happen. Because if it's anything that's not a boosting item, I'm pretty sure C max close combat. I have a way better shot of living if it's like max attack Scarf, for example. So I think I just try it. I'm potentially losing my Bellibolt answer. Let's see. I don't live, which... Let's see if we see an item or anything. It is Life Orb, okay. So, lost Goodra early. It at least did a good job of taking out the Chandelure, which is great. And we find out the Valiant is not Scarf, which is also nice. So Valiant KOs Goodra. CC. Okay. I could go Deoxys here. That does kind of invite the Metagross in, and I don't have great ways to deal with that. Ogerpon could Ivy Cudgel. And at the very least I could chip onto a Bellibolt switch in. That's kind of where I'm at. Tough to say though. Could go Comfey as well. I'm gonna go Ogerpon. This is kind of the hardest thing for them to defend against right now, if I just go for an Ivy Cudgel. So that is what I'm gonna do. And this thing's at -1, so... Oh, it's just gonna go for the CC, and I do take that, because I have a solid amount of defense investment on this. That looks like almost max attack or something. So we do take it out, though. That's great. Love seeing that Valiant gone. I think it took me from... I'll confirm this in a second, but 303 down to 40? So, I want to see close combat, max, Life Orb. It did, 303 minus 40. Yeah, that was like max Jolly probably with Life Orb. But yeah, I go Volbeat on this guy. This is what Volbeat is here for, so let's go for it. I can see Ogerpon's speed being useful in the future. Alright, so let's see what happens in this matchup. U-turn. We will see 333 down to 233, 100 points of damage, takes helmet. Did we see it take rocks? I didn't even look. U-turn, healing 100, that's Jolly Max. No boosting item, so I will say, because it's also not pads, I believe that's gotta be Garf. Unless it didn't take rocks, which I wasn't looking for. That's over at the Kelp. Look at Volbeat dance. So cute. So glad he got to come to a match. And if nothing else, we have achieved some chip on the Masquerada with this guy. Okay, so I'm going for Ice Punch. I think that's what I really wanted to do here. Defensive Landorus. It's not taking much from an Ice Punch, but if I pop a Yachi, that's kind of the goal. And it can set up rocks, or maybe go for Rock Slide? That's an option. It actually doesn't do that much to me since I'm so defensive, so yeah, we're going for the Ice Punch. Goes for Stone Edge and misses. I wonder how that would have gone. Okay, no Yashi. Gotcha. Okay. Could see Volbeat being quite useful down the line. I don't know. So it wasn't Yashi. And I know nothing about this set. If it is Stone Edge uninvested, 204. I do actually live it in that case. It's max attack Stone Edge. We can actually gauge what kind of set it is by going for Moonlight and then seeing how much damage it can do to me. Oh, they're gonna switch out. Okay, well this is free recovery, I suppose. Yeah, Bellibolt comes in. It's Boots, I believe, then. Yeah, alright. Alright, and then Volbeat lives to see another day later. Bellibolt is going to be a bit of a problem to actually break through. I wish I had saved Goodra, but it's also Soak, so maybe not. I don't know. Could go Deoxys. Just hit it with Psychics. Start chipping it down. Comfey feels like not a great idea. Could go just Ogerpon to sack it. I wouldn't love doing that. Great Tusk, maybe? Although it has Soap and it might be going for it. Yeah, I guess Deoxys is kind of the least useful thing. If I have Volbeat for this Masquerada, Deoxys has already set up rocks. Iron Valiant's down already. So yeah, this is what I'm going to go for. It goes for Volt Switch. Alright. 252 to 140. That's a max roll for uninvested. Yep, there's Masquerada. If they're very smart, they can probably figure I'm going to Volbeat again, and they could double instead of going for U-turn to avoid the helmet chip. But I kind of want to keep Deoxys safe. I switched first, which implies that they stayed in, probably going for U-turn. Goes for... oh, it's Sucker, so I wonder... I think I saw it take rocks this time. I made sure to check that. Oh, wait. Also, I don't know if I saw Protein activate. I'm going to U-turn here, though. So that's the Bellibolt. What I'm kind of thinking is I need to force this thing to Terra Water so Comfey can deal with it a little better. It has Static. Okay. so I might want to go Great Tusk. I also took, like, how much from that? Full beat against Bellibolt. Physically defensive should take about, like, 11%, which it looks like it kind of was that. Could go Ogerpon. Ogerpon against Bellibolt. Ivy Cudgel will do a good chunk. And a Volt Switch actually, if I go for Horn Leech, the Volt Switch won't KO in return. I do risk Static if I'm doing that. I actually took more like 15%, which implies... Is that more of a Spadef set from a Full Beat U-turn? Yeah, it's actually more of a Spadef set. Okay. So, a Spadef set against Ogerpon. Horn Leech, it does a lot more. That's nice. And I recover more, and it can't deal too much back to me in return. So I'm gonna Horn Leech, I guess. Solid damage. Could go for Slack Off here. If Volt Switches, I will live now. Please don't Static. It's Static. Oh, twice in a row. It was a risk. I just had to go for it. And now I think Ogerpon is probably not worth saving. Excuse me. Should have just Horn Leeched, I guess, but... So, I wonder... What I'm thinking right now is I calc the Masquerada's U-turn on Volbeat as no boosting item, but I also, like, I was not paying attention to whether or not it was actually Protein. Or, yeah, Protein is the ability it has. If it wasn't Protein for some reason, then it might be banned. Because I didn't see it change for the Sucker Punch. I could just be wrong, I was not looking properly. But the Bellibolt is at least chipped down, which is very nice. Like, I think it was just over half at this point. Alright, we are going to see the Meowscarada come in. It's down to like half, which is pretty cool. Ogerpon's not really worth keeping around. The main reason I was keeping it was for Metagross, and now I probably will not outspeed it. So, probably just worth going for, I don't know, let's just say Knock. It's going to take me out, probably. Actually, on the off chance it doubles out of Volbeat, let's go Ivy Cut. Goes for its U-turn. Okay, I did see the Protein. Maybe I just missed it proc on the Sucker Punch. But, yeah. Meowscarada kills Ogerpon. U-turn. And this does force my opponent to bring something out for me to respond to. That's a little momentum for me. Cost me that Ogerpon, but it was already paralyzed, so yeah, that's alright. I believe Bellibolt, if it Terra Waters, it's still not quite in Tusk range yet. It is the Bellibolt that's coming in, though. Okay. So... Well, what I'm thinking is I could use Tusk just as a way to force that Terra Water. Burns my booster and probably costs the Great Tusk Sweep, but then Compe has a much easier time dealing with it. I could also just go Compe now, start setting up on it, because Compe looks pretty good right now. I guess. Yeah. I'm gonna look up Soak. Fails if it's terastallized, so that's good. Could just Terra now, and yeah, I'll do this. I'll Terra and go for my Calm Mind. I could have held this off one turn probably, but like, if they do go for a Volt Switch, I could block it here. So let's see what happens. We get our Calm Mind. +1/+1. Bellibolt goes for Soak. That's not going to work. Yep. And a Terra Blast should now... actually doesn't necessarily KO this thing. That's crazy. We know it has Soak and Volt Switch. Gotta have Slack Off. Maybe Muddy Water's the last move. I could Calm Mind again. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I was gonna say, I definitely could have delayed the Terra because Soak would have trained with Water type and I would have gone ground anyway. Let's see, is this a Balloon Metagross? No, it's not. Okay. So let's see, +2 Comfey against Metagross. Even max HP Assault Vest would go down to this. As would max HP, max special defense. Let's look at Scarf Metagross. It doesn't KO me necessarily, I don't think, so we're gonna go for the Terra Blast. It could be Shuka, I suppose. It is, okay. This should still do a solid chunk to it. Let's see what we get here. We almost KO, wow. Goes for Heavy Slam. Okay, I do live, but I will go down now to my own Life Orb. Actually tempted to go, let's go Volbeat. I kind of want to preserve Comfey's Giga Drain. Or the Bellibolt. Wait, this is a Volbeat KO. Let's go Volbeat. Volbeat KO's Metagross with Helmet. Okay, so we have a pretty low Landorus-T, Meowscarada, and Bellibolt. Bellibolt is by far the biggest issue right now. What I'm kind of thinking is I need to get a situation where Great Tusk is out in front of Bellibolt. Click Earthquake, force it to Terra or go down, and then Comfey can then Giga Drain. That's like most ideal if it's the last Pokemon standing Bellibolt. They go Landorus. Okay. So what I'm thinking is I just Ice Punch here for the KO. Let's look at a Stone Edge from Landorus. Does not KO me, so I would just Ice Punch here. Unless it's like a boosting item. Yeah, okay. And we get the full para. That's unfortunate. This is kind of... I guess this is fine. It's Moonlight, I guess. In case it misses the next one. Right? Okay, it is gonna take me out. Para is unfortunate. Stop Volbeat from going off, guys. What the heck? And now I could go Deoxys, actually. Let's see, Spadef. Let's see if Spadef Bellibolt switching into Ice Beam. Bellibolt, Spadef, it's Deoxys. Ice Beam into Psychic, probably not quite doing it. Let's do this. So, yeah, Psychic and Ice Beam should both be KOing this Landorus, I'm assuming. But, like, Psychic catches Bellibolt a little better. Ice Beam catches Meowscarada. Or Superpower... Superpower actually does the most damage to a Spadef Bellibolt. That's assuming that the Lando switches out, though. I'm just gonna Ice Beam. They do switch out. Yeah. It is Bellibolt. Okay, let's see how much this Ice Beam does. It's pretty healthy. Let's see. Okay. Should I go Great Tusk here? Tough. I think I'm gonna do it. Tusk as it potentially recovers up. I wish I had Taunt on this Deoxys. Wow. See what happens here. It does. Oh, it tears already. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Goes for its slack off. Makes sense. Oh, this is tough. This is very tough. Earthquake, not quite doing enough to this thing, you know? I think I have to rely on Comfey getting enough HP back at some point. Is the thing. Oh, my opponent just messaged me, they misclicked that? Interesting. I guess I go for the Earthquake? See what happens here. That could two-shot? Oh, they misclicked the Discharge. Okay. Yeah, wait, that's unfortunate. Wait a second. Do I get this? Oh, no, actually. Okay, then I bulk up here. And if I go +1/+1... Oh, they switch out. Okay. Alright, so my attack's back to neutral at this point. I want to Ice Spinner this thing. The problem is that they could switch back to Bellibolt. Right? Get the static. I don't know what to do. go for a spin. That probably kills this, actually. Offensive Landorus. Maybe not. It's fine. Goes for Grass Knot. It's Scarf. Yeah. Alright, and risking Bellibolt getting static on me, I think I just have to spin again. This Landorus is too threatening to me. If the Lando does switch out, then it's down to rocks anyway. Okay, but we do get a KO on the Landorus. And I think Tusk might actually have this. Bellibolt comes in. I think that's best case scenario for me. I am at neutral again. Earthquake threatens a lot of damage onto this guy, but it does get out-healed by Slack Off. Okay, I'm gonna go for a bulk up. See what happens. I could just have a water move and take me out here. We'll see. Yeah, it goes for the soak. Okay. This Earthquake, it looks like it's actually a roll to take it out now, because a +1 non-stab Earthquake actually does slightly more than a neutral, like, stab one. Which is actually, that's a little weird to me, but... yeah, I can Earthquake. It should keep it from just stalling the Slack Off. Okay, it does KO Tusk. Okay. And I think Deoxys can click Superpower here. Oh, but it's Sucker Punch on the Meowscarada. I have to play mind games. Uh-oh, somebody forgot how triage works. So yeah, I completely forgot in the battle that triage is +3 priority instead of +1. So I was going through this entire thing thinking that Meowscarada's Sucker Punch would out-prioritize Draining Kiss. So there would be a lot less tension here, I think, if I had remembered that. And we're going to see how this plays out with my inadequate knowledge in the moment. So back to it. That's the worst. Regardless, yeah. At least we claim a KO here with Deoxys. I suppose I also could have gone Comfey on the discharge, but I don't know if that would affect the Sucker Punch mind game all that much. I click Superpower and take this KO. That does risk the... oh jeez, that risks the one move. Or static. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Well, it's gonna come down to Comfey anyway. Alright. Oh my god, every single time? Okay, whatever. Alright. I was just doing Superpower so I could hedge between that thing staying in and switching to Meowscarada. And now this Meowscarada is a huge issue. There's actually, like, there's a light here because it could be choice. I don't necessarily see that being the case, but like I've ruled out a lot of items here. It's not a boosting item, it's not boots, and it's not pads. I kind of want to see if it goes for Sucker anyway, because if it goes for Sucker here, that means it's probably locked into it. Like, Scarf Sucker, maybe? I don't know, man. Flower Trick. Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. Draining Kiss, 10, 20, 30. Looks like it should always KO, even if it's just grass. The thing is, I don't know. Is it Sucker Punch? It hasn't switched moves, has it? So it could be... I know it's Sucker Punch. I don't know if it's like Scarf or something. Ah, jeez. And I am simply not gonna know. I don't know. Yeah. It's a crapshoot. Oh! We get it! Must be choiced? Or they read setup moves, but hey! Comfort KOs Meowscarada. And we take it. That's the game. That's quarters. Whoa, okay. Cool. That was quite a match. Worthy of a playoffs match, for sure. Good game to Freedo. That was tough. Man, yeah, okay. Glad that Comfey came in clutch there. Jeez. Glad I saved the Comfey earlier against that Metagross. Instead of letting it go down to its own life orb. Wow. Okay, well, hey, that is gonna be quarters. We made it to semis of the silver bracket. So, yeah, that's awesome. If you stuck around this long for the battle, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.